everyone, today I'm going to do a quick and fun video. I'm going to be doing the 50 random facts about me. I've done the 20 random facts about me, but I haven't actually rewatched it, so I'm sorry if I repeat any. And I know this is quite different to what I normally do, it's just kind of silly and fun, but I fancied just doing something easy today, and I thought maybe you guys might learn something new about me. I don't know, it's a bit of a self-indulgent tag, but I like watching them, so I thought you guys might like watching it too. I have my paper here literally with scruffy writing. I've spent the last kind of 24 hours writing down every time I think of something. Some are completely random, some you may already know. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. I don't really like shopping online, especially for beauty. I shop on Cult Beauty because they have a lot of stuff you can't get elsewhere, but apart from that, I like the physical act of shopping. That's like 50% of the fun. My first dog was called Rugsy. She was a miniature poodle, although she wasn't that small. They had her for a year before I was born, and then she died when I was 16, so she was 17 years old. She had like curly black hair and she like blended in with the rug. That's why we called her Rugsy. And she was really cute and friendly and lovely. I'm currently subscribed to 100 channels on YouTube, and I pretty much watch every video that comes into my subscription box. My family have weird words for food that I never really knew were weird until I went to uni and like met other people. We call a jacket potato and the jacket, which is just so weird. You know the peas that you kind of pop open and they have peas inside? We call those poppy peas. We make a carrot and sweet potato mash, especially at Christmas time, and we call that shmush. And then you know those hand blenders that you make soup with? We call that a zhuzh. We're just really weird. I absolutely love playing tennis, and I'm actually pretty good at it. I've been learning since I was very young, and it's just one of my favourite hobbies. I'm definitely not a dreamer, I am a realist, but that doesn't mean I don't have dreams. I get major family FOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out. So if they're all together and I'm not there, if I'm away or otherwise engaged, I get so jealous. We have like a family WhatsApp group and we send each other photos and videos, and I just feel like I'm missing out. You may wonder why I have a tattoo here that says New Kid in Town. That is a song by the Eagles, and the song or the album was playing while I was born. I was kind of born in a bath and my dad was in Hawaiian shorts and they had Eagles playing. I was the third and I was a mistake, so I had a bit of an alternative birth. But I've loved the Eagles ever since, and everyone in my family loves them, so that's why I have this tattooed there. I definitely want to have children, but having older sisters means that I know far too much, and not gonna lie, I am petrified about getting pregnant and having to give birth. I'd like 3 kids if I can, because I've grown up in a 3, but I think 2 would be nice as well. I would definitely consider myself a feminist. I'd quite like to go back to school for a week. I feel like I didn't take up the opportunity of education and learning, and I'd like to see if I'd actually learn anything new and just kind of give it another go. I like peanut butter, but I don't like peanut flavoured things like peanut butter flavoured chocolate and things like that. I worked in Gap Kids for 3 months when I was 18 to pay for a flight around the world. I'm 27 years old. I'm always cold at night when I go to bed, and Rich is always hot, and then in the morning I'm always really hot and he's always really cold. It's so annoying. In February 2010 I volunteered for the British Fashion Council working at London Fashion Week, so it was like 4 days work. We didn't get paid. It was long hard hours kind of taking people's tickets and letting people through, but it was an amazing experience, and what a way to kind of see inside Fashion Week when you're quite young, and it was just so exciting, and I made friends that I'm still friends with now actually. Before I leave the house I always think phone, money, keys. It's something my dad used to tell me when I was younger, and it's just ingrained in my brain. Phone, money, keys. It's always more the merrier with me. I like everyone to just come together and everyone to just kind of meet and make friends and have fun. Sometimes it's a bit annoying because I'll invite people along to things when I probably shouldn't, and poor Rich hardly ever gets kind of just me and him time because I'm always inviting all our friends along, but I just like everyone to be together and have fun. I was Game Boy obsessed as a kid. I've always been into technology and Game Boys were just my thing. I had the original grey Game Boy. I had the black kind of slimline one, and then when it came out in colour I got that in pink, and then I got one of the wider ones. I can't remember what they were called, but I kind of went off them at that point. I think they should have stuck to the original style. Mario was obviously my favourite game. I was hangry before the word existed. My friends used to always call me hangry like years ago. It's like a really trendy word now, but even as a kid I just get so moody and I feel sick and I'm terrible to be around if I haven't eaten. You know how some people say they've got like resting bitch face? I don't have a resting bitch face, but my normal face just makes me look like I'm really upset or in pain. People will often say to me, "Are you okay?" And I literally don't know what they're talking about, and I think it's because my face is just like this. my natural face is to frown. So if you ever think like, oh, Lily's in a mood, it's just my face. I don't like talking on the phone. I never have done. When I was younger and my friends used to call me as a teenager, I used to pretend like, oh, I've got to go for dinner, when I didn't, just because I wanted to hang up because I felt really awkward. And even now, like, I'll always prefer to email or text. I'll call someone if I have something to say, but I'll never call someone just for a chat. I don't know why, I find it so awkward. The longest time difference I've ever experienced is 11 hours. When I was in Fiji, that's 11 hours ahead of the UK, and that was really weird. I hate the feeling of regret, so I take every decision really seriously, and I definitely worry too much. We don't really do grandparents in my family in the way that we don't call our grandparents grandma and grandpa. I'm not sure why. I used to call my dad's parents just by their first names. And my grandma on my mum's side, she was really young when she became a grandma, so she didn't really want to be called grandma. So we ended up just calling her mum, because my sister copied my mum, who called her mum, and my grandpa Pop. So we had mum and pop first names, and now my parents, who are grandparents, are called Gaga and Papa. So I don't have any grandmas or grandpas or nans or grands or anything like that. The emojis that I wish existed are crossed fingers, middle finger up, avocado, cup of tea, and probably just like a glass or a bottle of water. I love apples, but I don't really like green apples. I've seen Oklahoma on stage 5 times, and I think I know all the songs and all the words. I love musical theatre, but I'm definitely more of a fan of the old classics like West Side Story, My Fair Lady, not so much a fan of kind of the newer styles like Wicked. I only learnt how to dive into a swimming pool when I was 15. I can bend my thumb backwards like quite a lot, I think. My mum washed my hair for me over the bath until I was far too old. I had really matted, knotty, curly hair. I just couldn't do it myself. My dad once had a phone conversation with Stevie Wonder. My big toes flick up and they make holes in a lot of my shoes. Apparently my grandpa had the same thing. And when I went to Margaret Dabbs for a medical pedicure, she said it's something to do with the tight ligaments in my toes, which is why I may struggle to wear high heels. Finally, I thought I was just being a bit of a tomboy. I'm still a little bit scared of the dark. And when I go to the countryside with Rich and we go to sleep and it's pitch black, it kind of freaks me out. Whenever I get waxed, I break into a cold sweat. It's so embarrassing. I'm literally like a sweaty mess, and the beautician always finds it really funny. I drink skimmed milk, and not for any particular reason, just because that's the milk we've always had in my house, so now I'm used to it. And drinking anything else like semi-skimmed or whole milk just tastes like really creamy to me, and it's funny because everyone thinks skimmed milk tastes really watery, but I love it. I've had 2 operations on my bladder. I only learned how to ride a bike when I was 12. Something to do with being the youngest child, but they kept forgetting to teach me things like diving in a pool and riding a bike. My friends Hannah and Jack actually taught me, and they basically just pushed me down a hill and said, go. I hate the taste of aniseed and fennel and all those kind of flavours. I can literally taste it in anything, and it just makes me feel really ill. I'm always completely paranoid about swallowing fish bones, and after I've eaten a fish, I always feel like I've got a bone in my throat, and then I have to eat bread, and it's a huge palaver. I grind my teeth in my sleep. Number 9 is my lucky number. I think I inherited it from my dad. It's also his lucky number. Me, my dad, and my mum were all born on the 9th. And yes, just my lucky number. I'll always pick salty over sweet. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. I prefer salami as a snack over chocolate, and salt popcorn every time. I rarely cry, but when I do, it's always really inappropriate. It's either at a TV show when I see someone on TV cry, or I'll just let it all build up for months and months and just have a complete breakdown like in Rich's face. I feel anxious and nervous a lot these days. I never used to when I was younger, but the past couple of years, I think just as you grow up and get more stressed and make more important decisions, anxiousness and nerves just come naturally. But I haven't really figured out a way to make myself feel better when I'm feeling like that. The only thing that has ever worked is when I bumped into a viewer last week. I was having a really bad day and I bumped into a viewer in Liberty Beauty Hall, and she was so nice, and as soon as I walked away from talking to her, I just felt 100% better, and so far that's actually been the only thing that's helped. One of my favourite games to play is me and my friends often play the what animal would I be game, where you kind of say what animal you think your friend would be if they were an animal. It's really weird. We've also done it for vegetables, but I just think it's hilarious. I ask a lot of questions. At school, my teachers used to always get a bit annoyed that I used to always be the one with my hand up asking questions. And now my agent and managers that I work with also say that I am the one who always has all the questions. So it's obviously just a trait that I wasn't really aware of. And finally, I love to show off my friends. I feel like I just boast about my friends all the time, but they all are just so amazing and have such cool jobs, and I'm so like proud to have such a nice group of friends, so I do kind of show them off, and I always want to like introduce them to people and make everyone be friends, and I'm very proud of the people that I have in my life. So those are 50 random facts about me. I hope you learned something new or found that just fun or interesting. Let me know a random fact about you, because then I can learn something about you guys too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!